All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to JMac Sports Cards. Well, this is going to be Card Shop Talk. This is the inaugural edition of a podcast here with Buddy. We're in his shop here, Lucky Box Sports Card Shop in Cornelius, North Carolina. I'll link his shop website and Instagram down below. And if you've never been to the area, awesome shop. We've hung out a few times, and this kind of came from just a few interventions. Not interventions, that's terrible. A few.
Yeah, we had a lot of those.
A few, times we've hung out, and we thought it'd be good to do something like this locally. We're in North Carolina, so we can put some info out and talk about what's going on in the hobby here locally in NC and Charlotte area, and just chop it up, talk shop, love it. What's going on. So yeah, so what's good with you? So you've been in this shop for how long now?
Since August, so about 7 months. Okay.
And how's the evolution of it been so far?
It's good. It's coming along. Allocations still continue to be a struggle, just like in any card shop starting up. So basically, working my contacts to try to find as much product as possible, with still making money, keep the lights on.
You're not direct with Panini or Topps?
No, so each of them has some qualifications you have to meet. So you have to be open at least a year or 6 months, certain hours per week. So I definitely meet everything minus the total months being open. Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully soon.
Yeah, and maybe with Fanatics coming in, maybe it'll be more. Like I heard some of the things that they'll be looking for in the future is just like more modern shops and stuff like that. Not, I don't know. That was just some speculation of some of the things they're looking for.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of unknown. But until they fully release out what the qualifications are, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Right. A lot of unknowns in the hobby. That's for sure. So yeah, I mean, I figured we would kind of do some. We're gonna do this every couple weeks, I think. But we're gonna do a couple segments that will highlight some, the hobby now. Right now, what's going on? Right now, obviously, NBA playoffs are kicking the play-in. Was last night. This will probably go up after, like tonight, Hornets play. So big deal here locally. Oh, yeah. They play the play-in. They're playing the Hawks.
Playing in Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta Hawks. So we'll see how that goes. And then, we'll talk about like topics going on right now. Like I said, I just announced that I'm pursuing this thing full time. I mean, what a better job than getting up, watching Sports Center, seeing who's hot, watching the sports in general, and then making decisions off of that to who to buy and who to sell. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like you're not working a day in your life then now, right? It's good to do something you love.
Exactly. Just like I said, some people are like, how do you know what to buy and sell? I'm like, do you watch sports?
Yep. I mean, essentially, it's just like the stock market. It's like it goes up and down. Like if a player drops 50 points, tonight everybody's going to be on Facebook or wherever they're buying cards at saying, hey, do you have this player available? It literally goes up and down every single day based on their performance.
And it's funny, like I said, I've been making a big push on eBay, and a lot of times it's literally when I'm sleeping, if someone popped, and then people are late night on eBay searching players, and I wake up to either some people that just checked out buy it nows, or they submitted offers on stuff, and that's literally. Matter of fact, I just sold the Tom Brady refractor, this 06 Topps Chrome refractor, PSA 10. I picked it up in Spartanburg, South Carolina for $175. Sent it to PSA. It's a Pop 16. And I threw it up on eBay at like $1,800. Last one did $1,000. It only has a few sales, but maybe 10 sales that I could find the last year, because it's Pop 16. And I was like, the last one was $1,000. I was like, there's no way I'm going to sell it for $1,000. And then I was like, I'll just throw it for $17.99, take offers. And I said, the absolute lowest I'll take is $1,500. Woke up yesterday morning, and guess what I had? $1,500 offer. And nice. That was the exact bottom. I was like, I won't take any less, because that would I probably net about $1,350 now with that.
It's pretty solid on one card.
Yeah, especially getting in at like 175 or whatever, and then 50 in grading, so 225. Yep. So it's almost $1,000 on one card. So now that Absolutely, it's my first time that's ever happened. So that I've been,
Yeah, don't expect to do that every flip. For sure.
No. Take a lot of L's, but that was just a cool one that just happened. So I figured I'd talk about that a little bit. But so this segment here, we're going to transition. We'll move into what's hot in the shop.
So it's been a pretty slow release week from Panini and Topps the last couple weeks. New this week is Prism Draft Picks for basketball, and I believe Contenders comes out today, so that'll be hot. It's a pretty auto bust or not product. You get a lot of base cards, 2 autographs per box usually on average. You get some cracked ice that are pretty hot. What else come out?
You said the Prism Draft Picks, which it's like $200 a box. It's got 4 autos.
Yeah, 4 autos per box. They did a good job with this product. They with Prism in 2021 they brought back the throwback from 2013, the first year Prism. So they have a lot of throwbacks this year.
They have autos of those throwbacks, right?
Yep. So I've seen Paul Pierce's, I've seen Steph Curry. So they've done a really good job with it this year. Technically, when Prism Draft Picks comes out, it kind of steers people off a lot since, they're in the NBA already, so they want to see them in their college uniforms, but the value is still there. So yeah, that's a solid buy. Football, clearly Donners has come out over the last week. That's been really nice. They're all acetate cards, getting autographed per box. And Inception Baseball has been the newest release for baseball.
Right, and I mean, I know you have some real loyal customers here that are like very specific to, your products and you do. So this isn't gonna, when we do this segment, it isn't going to be maybe the overall hobby, but this is just local to him and what's hot in the shop here. I think by and large, it maybe does play out over, bleed over into the hobby in general a lot of times, but it's always good to, get the direct perspective of a shop owner to see what's selling, what's not. What's the toughest thing to move in the shop?
Oh, what's the toughest thing? I'm gonna look around.
What's been sitting for a while?
What's been sitting?
Some of the non-licensed baseball stuff?
Yeah, non-licensed. Panini baseball usually takes a little bit to get sold.
You got any UFC or that stuff flies, don't it?
That stuff flies, yeah. WWE Prism came out last week. I sold my allocations within probably an hour of receiving them. Got some back stock. Those quickly went, I think, up to $14.50 a box. But yeah, it's Panini's first product with WWE and Prism's Prism. So everybody was chasing it. I've seen 101s go for 15,000+, whether it be Ultimate Warrior or Undertaker.
The Color Blast too.
Color Blast, yep. Did not pull any of those out of our allocations, but they're beautiful.
Yeah. I'm a little bit leery on the WWE. I like UFC because it's real fighting. But I know there's a big following on WWE, and I'm not knocking the product, and I'm not knocking any of that. And I understand its significance because it's their first year Prism of it and all that. I just personally, I don't think I'm gonna be a buyer of it at all. I mean, but like I said, especially in this area, wrestling was huge when I was young.
Yep.
Some of the big events were in Greensboro or something like that. They had big events here. So I understand the appeal. Just personally, me, I like UFC. That's what I'm kind of pursuing here recently.
Yeah, I was a huge wrestling fan when I was a kid, so it's nice open up, just kind of like see the old flashback players.
Who's your dude? Who's your guys, I guess?
My guys, Bret Hart and Ultimate Warrior. I remember a Saturday Ultimate Warrior was like Papa Shango first came in there, so he was just at the Mooresville show about a month or so ago. The Godfather, he like put some trance on Ultimate Warrior and black goo came out of his mouth. I still remember that when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember. I was more old school Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. I did like an Ultimate Warrior. Also, a guy who I don't hear many people show much love to. Everybody's like Ric Flair and all these others. Macho Man Randy Savage. That dude, like the hype before the how he talked and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was. Yeah, he was always very entertaining.
Anyone who's a wrestling fan has that impersonation of
him. Exactly. I was about to try, but I was like, nah.
Oh yeah, brother.
There you go. That's a pretty good one, actually. I like it. All right, so that's what's hot in shop, and so if any of this product that you, I do enjoy the fact. I mean, you're like, it's about 20 minutes for me, but it is nice to be able to, have a shop where you can get products basically pretty within, I don't know, a few days of its release.
Yep.
And he's very reasonable on his price. And some shops like really mark up stuff. His is pretty close to right what it's selling at. Probably better than you could if you could get it on eBay with shipping and taxes. You'd probably pay more than you'd pay here. All right, we'll move along here. We'll move into the next segment, which is going to be the NBA playoffs kicking off, and talk about some of the players that are hot and some that are not. It kind of sucks because it's not going to drop before the playoffs, but like I think LaMelo and they're gelling right now. The Hornets, like they were blowing people out these last 5 games. They took out the whole squad with like 5 minutes left in the last game they played, and they put in a guy who I don't even remember his name, but he'd only played 3 minutes or like 2 minutes. He's been a Hornet for like 2 years, and he never had a stat. No stats, no rebounds, no assists. He had never had one stat. I think he got a free throw in, so he finally got a stat on the board. So just I think that like it's kind of like some teams get hot in the NFL playoffs. Like the Giants did it at one point in one of the runs where they made it to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Got hot at the right time. So I think if they can move past Hawks, which they have done, this year a couple times already. They shut down Trae Young last time they played him. Basically, I think he had his lowest scoring game of the year. I think the Hornets, if they get into a series, will be fun to just. If they win 7 games in a series, that would be pretty awesome. So LaMelo, he's my guy. I PC him, and with the market softening, I've been able to pick up some Melos that were way overpriced. And so
I think his cards are finally come down to where they're reasonable. I think obviously with him being a rookie last year, him and Edwards were the 2 hot things. So now that he's not a rookie this year, his cards are finally back down to normalcy. But he's still a great buy. I went to game on Sunday as well. He had a lot of turnovers, but he's fantastic to watch. He can shoot the 3, he can pass, he can rebound. But that team, as young as they are, when they're hitting threes, they're unstoppable. I'm a huge Mavs fan. I went to the Mavs game. They played them probably 3 weeks ago, and I think Luka didn't play the fourth quarter because the Hornets hit like 23 or 24 threes. It was nuts. They couldn't miss.
So they played here twice, didn't this year? Because then you went and you got the.
Yeah, that was preseason.
Oh, it was a preseason game.
Yeah, preseason game. I got Luka's autograph on the jersey. I was pretty excited about that. My first
courtside, right?
Courtside, yep. And then I got lucky at the game a couple weeks ago. I got his autograph as well. So.
Oh, really? How did you pull that off?
So I was in the section behind the basket on the Mavs end, and after he warms up, he always goes up the tunnel and he signs. So the only thing that stinks is my jersey that I had, the lettering's a little like darker blue, and so I had a silver Sharpie for him to sign, but he grabbed the black Sharpie from somebody else and started to sign up the row. So you can still see it. I know it's there. So
oh man,
I have 2 Luka jerseys signed now. So pretty happy about that.
Wow, that's pretty cool. The Timberwolves played last night, and Edwards played well. And I was watching that game, and then I switched to something else, and then come back and see that they won. The Timberwolves won, and so that was, and Edwards went off. So yeah, a lot of young players in the league for sure. Who do you like? I mean, I know you're a big looking at it holistically, not through because that's me out here with LaMelo and the Hornets, but just looking over across the league. Who do you like?
It's tough. I mean, you can't go against Kevin Durant in the playoffs. I mean, he was, a millimeter short of beating the Bucks by himself last year with that 3 with his foot on the line. Kyrie played great last night, so I think they're going to be tough out. But the Bucks are defending champions, so I think the East definitely goes through them. In the West, Suns, man, I think they have, Chris Paul is point guard, Booker can score anywhere, and they've got young guys that can defend.
And then DeAndre Ayton too, he's underrated too.
Yeah, I really hope that they really signed him to a big contract this year. They opted not to do it last year, and I think he was the only rookie out of the top 5 that didn't get their rookie extension. So I think he's got a definite chip on his shoulder.
I think Mikal Bridges is underrated too. I think because he, when Paul was out, he's if you look across his stats, I just did recently because I got a fast break auto, and so I was like, let me look up this guy, and his stats have improved each year. He's up over like 15 a year. I mean, 15 points a game or right around that, and every one of his stats have. I look at that like year over year, younger players, 1, 2, 3. If you look at their progression and you look at their field goal percent, their free throw percent, their 3-point shooting percentage, and steals, rebounds, points per game. If all of that is improving year over year, that's the kind of players I'm like, those are buy and then tuck away a few of their, card. And he's one of them as well. And if they get a ring, you know what I mean? Then he'd be a hot commodity too.
Yeah, they signed him to a contract this last offseason too, and he hasn't missed a game in his 4 years either. So he's an Iron Man, and you can count him. He's dependable, doesn't get hurt, so can't pass that up. Yeah. And he plays defense, so you don't find that a lot.
So who do you think is the absolute best player in the league right now with not caring about age? Some people are like, well, they're on the way out. Blah, blah. I think it's Giannis.
Yeah, like he's such an athletic guy. He can, I think if he kind of extends his game even further, he's starting to hit the three a lot better. But I mean, he's just so long athletic. He takes 2 Euro steps. He can dunk over everybody. But yeah, he could
probably play at least 4 positions. Yeah. Not point guard, but he could.
Yeah, kind of just like LeBron. LeBron can play point, but yeah, he's one of those guys that can definitely stretch the floor and create matchup nightmares. So he's a top 3.
Top 3? Who are the others?
I don't know. Like, I'm not partial to Luka, but I mean, Luka, I think, is an outstanding player. If you take him off the Mavs, I don't think they'd win 20 games.
Right, they'll probably get 20, 30 wins.
And Jokic can't jump over a sidewalk, people say, and his stats are better this year than last.
So that's your top 3? In the top 3?
Yeah, I'll go with that top 3. So, no, I can't.
LeBron, he's not in it?
No.
He's like top 5.
Top 5.
There you go. And
Durant. You gotta throw Durant.
Yeah, Durant. Yeah. So that's kind of mine is. I'd probably, but the reason I keep Luka out is until he, makes a splash in the playoffs. So I think his talent wise, yes, he should be there. But I guess I sat there and said no caveats. But I guess most people are probably feeling that way about Luka. They want to see a playoff run first, right?
Yeah, he's got to win the playoff series for sure. And he got hurt in the last regular season game. He's got a strained calf. They're still undecided if he'll play or not. He's a baller; he'll play. Yeah. But if he re-injures it, they're screwed.
All right, and we'll kind of move transition here and close it out. I will say I'm going to try to get these. I'm gonna put the video on YouTube, and then I'm also trying to open up an account where I can broadcast this on all platforms, like on Apple and whatever, to put it up in audio form so you could listen to it as well. So I'm gonna try to do that as well. So so look for the links in the description for once I figure that out. So last segment here we'll move into is what are you buying? Who are you buying? Like this isn't like actually you're putting money in, but looking to buy if you were like looking over the hobby. And this could be cross sport, doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, baseball, UFC, whatever. You got anybody on the list?
Josh Allen. I also think that Tua and Jalen Hurts are solid buys. Both teams have put in a lot of money's free agency, getting not only weapons on offense, but boosting that offensive line. And I think Eagles have 2 first-round draft picks. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think it's really a make-or-break year for those two. So those are my top 3, and Trevor Lawrence probably a close 4.
Yeah, not bad. And yeah, 2 with those weapons and Tyreek Hill, that'd be crazy to watch. And like you said, Hurts. But to me, I'm a little bit less optimistic on Hurts, but like you said, they do have a lot of draft capital, and they've done some good things in free agency. Me personally, like I said, I'm a buyer of UFC. A couple of reasons that is because Panini's going to be losing all their licenses, but they'll have UFC, they'll have WWE, or did they lose WWE too? Panini?
Eventually, I don't think that they disclosed like when they signed with WWE how many years it was, but Fanatics signed a new one with WWE too. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but I think they're going to definitely push WWE as much as UFC since like you said, they're losing the other
and then they got some soccer and stuff. But I think personally, like for the U.S., which I know people are there's a lot more soccer collectors and things like that. But I think UFC has a lot of runway as far as growth in the U.S., and internationally, but we know the card market is basically dominated in the U.S. So I think so that's kind of my reasoning behind UFC is that once Panini, stops doing all of these other big sports, Fanatics is going to push those sports, and they got the player associations attached to them, like NFL, NBA. So they're going to push hard on those. Well, what's Panini going to have to do? They're going to push these other products. So I think longer term, like the first year Prism UFC, and some of the fighters, Kamzat is my guy who, I actually hadn't paid for pay-per-view in a while. I bought this recent one with Kamzat and Burns. And I mean, he got tested, yes, but he also passed the test because Burns was number 2 in their division. Kamzat was 11 at the time. And, I think, and now it's kind of like, well, who's going to fight next? And Burns is trying to get a rematch of it. So already, 2 days later, he's already trying to get. So I'm a buyer of UFC personally. And like I said, I've already kind of alluded to it, LaMelo, because his prices came down. Yeah, that's where I'm at on who to buy. And again, this is just our personal opinions. Please, no one take this as advice, because
don't blow up the comments on YouTube and saying that we don't know what we're talking about.
Exactly, and that's what I will say. The good thing about the hobby is everyone's kind of cool and nice, and because I run an investing channel and I talk about stocks and stuff, and if I talk about a stock and the thing goes down, people lose their mind, and vitriol and hate flows through the comments. Okay. So I love the hobby. And the community, because people are just laid back and we're just talking sports, man. Yep. End of the day. So the flip side of that, anyone that we're selling, and I'll take this one first. So selling or would sell, and me personally, I'll say is Matthew Stafford. The reason I say that is he is basically been put into basically an all-star team. And a system with a coach that caters to a QB. So they're not taking away from what the Rams did or what they will do. Looks like they probably could continue this year. And I'm not saying that they won't, but what I'm saying is I don't think he's as talented as, can't put him up there with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I just don't think he's that great of a quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but so I'm not picking up any Stafford. You could play the hype on him and this season and some of the moves they made. I just personally staying away.
Yeah, I agree with you on him. I think he's reached his peak. Yeah, could he win another Super Bowl? Possibly, with the stacked team, especially what they've added on their defense. But yeah, I mean, he never won a playoff game when he was in Detroit. I mean, He had some solid teams too. He had, Calvin Johnson obviously as his main weapon. So he's never able to carry a team there. So not that he won the Super Bowl by luck by any means, but I think he's okay.
By osmosis, he's
I don't think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
That's what the discussion right after he won the Super Bowl is. He, because all of the sports channels and radio stations were making that a topic of discussion. And if you notice that's the theme that you'll see, and people buy and sell on that as well. Which is, I get it, but you still got to think things through yourself.
Exactly.
The big picture, not just getting caught up in the hype. Yep. Anyone on your list other than Stafford? That a lot of people are high on that you maybe are not as high on?
Oh, nothing honestly comes to mind. Trying to think what stuff has come in the shop recently that people are looking to get rid of.
How about the rookie class of last year, the 5? Anyone that because people are, is this really still an unknown class who's going to be, who's going to be the guy? I think most people are Trevor. And Matt got a lot of hype. Who of that 5 would you be like? They're probably not gonna make it in the league.
Gosh, what's his name from the Jets?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. Yeah, I think Zach Wilson is not a good one to collect. I think it takes a special guy to be a quarterback in New York. Let's look at their history of quarterbacks. No one's ever panned out. When Darnold was there, he was terrible. He has infamous game when he played the Patriots that he's seeing ghosts. So I mean, he's kind of resurrected himself a little bit coming over to Panthers. He started off hot, then he kind of cooled down. But
he didn't resurrect himself. No, I'm kidding. It was a bad scene.
Well, I mean, he's played better than he had at the Jets.
True in the beginning, yeah.
But I think the Jets organization just doesn't really have it together and can't really produce winners yet. So he's definitely not a buy for me. Mac Jones, I'm up in the air about.
Yeah, again, that's like a Stafford thing where he's in a system that will probably prop him up and make him look better than maybe he is, and maybe he improves. I do think that guy, though, I believe he does have great work ethic and really wants to be good. And sometimes that, just having that alone and a good system, so he could probably be a Pro Bowl quarterback, or and possibly they could probably make a run with Belichick. I think Belichick is a good enough coach. He can
for sure
definitely make some playoff runs. But I'm with you. I think Trevor is the guy out of the class that everyone last year was hating on him, and it's like, you know how much chaos was in Jacksonville?
Yeah, you had the coach that really didn't want to be there. He lost his running back from college. We gave him a nice little kind of safety net. His offensive line was terrible. He really didn't have that great of weapons to throw to. And I mean, look at Peyton Manning's rookie year. He really didn't play well. He had probably more interceptions than he had touchdowns. So, I mean, really year 3 is when quarterbacks really kind of get it together through the same system, the same offensive coordinator. It starts to click a little more.
Well, and now they got the turnover there, with the coach, which they needed. So when you saw when Urban Meyer got fired, and then they had like the last 2 weeks to play without him, that last game, you saw how well Trevor played because, some stability beginning to take place on the squad there, and I think that's what you're going to see next year. They might be like a 500 team next year or something like that. But if they do that and he gets like 30 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, something like that, you'll see that this guy's going to be a long-term QB franchise quarterback, I think. So, barring injury, you know what I mean? So, all right, man. Any last thoughts? I think that's a wrap on here. Again, the Card Shop Talk inaugural edition. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned to this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell to get notified. And we're going to do this every couple weeks. And so also drop comments on some topics or something that you guys want to talk about, something, or just get some interaction on what we're talking about here today. If there's something you want to chime in on, you think we're dead wrong on, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, if you want to see us open up some products, see what's new. Like, I always love ripping, so.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. So, all right, well, thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Until next time, that's all we got. Deuces.